Good evening and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our New York studio. I'm Chris Taylor. Despite U.S. President Donald Trump's claims of internal regime infighting, analysts say Iran appears strategically united after months of ongoing conflict. According to The Guardian, recent reports suggest that leadership losses and sustained external pressure have not fractured Tehran's decision-making structure. Instead, Iran's top military and political institutions continue coordinated operations under what analysts describe as a unified wartime strategy. Experts believe Trump's remarks may be intended as psychological pressure, but Iran is reportedly tightening internal cohesion and using the regional conflict as leverage in broader diplomatic negotiations. The situation remains tense as developments continue across the region. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi is in Pakistan on his first official visit after the first round of dialogue, where he held key meetings with the country's leadership, including Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar, and Chief of Defense Forces Field Marshal Syed Asim Munir. Diplomatic sources say discussions focused on regional security, border management, and strengthening bilateral cooperation. Interior Minister Mohsen Naqvi and National Security Advisor Asim Malik were also present, alongside senior members of the Iranian delegation. Both sides agreed to enhance security coordination and reaffirmed their commitment to peace and stability in the region. For more on this, we go to our Islamabad correspondent, Sarah William.
Officials here describe the visit as highly significant for regional diplomacy. Talks centered not only on border security and counterterrorism coordination, but also on broader efforts to prevent further escalation across the region. Pakistani and Iranian officials stressed the importance of maintaining diplomatic channels as wider Iran-US negotiations continue. There is also strong emphasis on practical cooperation, particularly in security management and economic engagement between the two neighbors.
Thank you, Sarah William in Islamabad. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan has also expressed hope for progress in the next round of Iran-US talks, which are set to be held in Pakistan. Speaking on the issue, Fidan said Turkey is encouraging dialogue and believes key obstacles in the nuclear negotiations could be resolved soon. He noted that one or two major issues are close to being settled, adding that extending the ceasefire is positive but not enough for a final agreement. Fidan also linked the Strait of Hormuz situation to the talks, saying successful negotiations could help restore normal maritime traffic. He added that Turkey remains in contact with all parties and will maintain neutrality in any new conflict. Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran wants talks, but it remains to be seen whether a deal can be reached and what kind of offer Tehran will present. Speaking to a British news agency, Trump said Washington is negotiating directly with decision-makers in Iran and that Tehran wants to make an offer aligned with U.S. demands. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said Washington is increasing economic pressure under what he called Operation Economic Fury. The U.S. Treasury Department announced new sanctions on a China-based oil refinery, 40 shipping companies, and multiple oil tankers linked to Iran. At the same time, U.S. Central Command said forces intercepted another Iranian-flagged vessel accused of violating a naval blockade. Egypt and Pakistan have also expressed hope that Iran-US talks will help cement the ceasefire and reduce regional escalation. According to Egypt's foreign ministry, Foreign Minister Badr Abdelhadi discussed the diplomatic track during a call with Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar. Both sides said a second round of negotiations could help achieve understandings that support a stable ceasefire, lower tensions, and move toward ending the conflict. Abdelhadi also stressed the need to ensure freedom of international navigation and address the security concerns of regional states, particularly in the Arabian Gulf. In Europe, British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says legislation will be introduced within weeks to designate Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps as a terrorist organization. According to the Financial Times, the move would meet long-standing demands from Jewish groups and opponents of Iran's leadership. If approved, it would mark the first time the United Kingdom labels the armed forces of a sovereign state as a terrorist entity. The report also noted that the European Union had already agreed in February to classify the IRGC as a terrorist organization. Meanwhile, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz says the EU is prepared to ease sanctions on Iran if a diplomatic agreement is reached. Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has strongly criticized the United States, accusing Washington of military interventions driven by oil interests. Lavrov said U.S. actions in countries such as Iran and Venezuela are linked to attempts to control energy resources and influence global energy markets. He alleged that the United States uses coups, abductions, and assassinations to protect its strategic interests, weakening international law in the process. Lavrov also held a phone call with UAE Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, where both sides stressed the need for immediate negotiations and renewed diplomacy for regional peace and stability. And finally, chairman of the Pakistan Cricket Board Mohsin Naqvi says Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has allowed cricket fans to attend the final of the Pakistan Super League's 11th edition in the stadium. In a social media statement, Naqvi said he had requested permission from the Prime Minister, who supported allowing spectators for the major sporting event. However, precautionary measures are still being emphasized due to the government's ongoing austerity campaign. The approval followed a request by franchise owners, and Naqvi thanked the Prime Minister for the decision. Officials say the austerity drive remains linked to regional tensions and concerns over a possible oil crisis. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.